Please note, some hospital and accident scenes in this video are a dramatization of real events.
I remember it was winter, but sunny, not snowing. It was nice out actually. I was at work, sitting at my desk, just trying to finish up my day to go home for the weekend.
It was a Friday. I was in Montreal. I'd been in Montreal working for the week.
She was with her grandmother. Her grandmother babysits her on Fridays, picks her up at school, and then she spends the afternoon with her grandma.
It happened on the sidewalk in front of Tim Hortons and Bell World store, and they were standing on the sidewalk waiting for a car to turn when this all happened.
I got the call around 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
We arrived to Kaylee, and I knew it was bad from the beginning. She was moaning, her respirations were snoring, her head, you could obviously tell she had a head injury. The left side of her face was all swollen, her pupils were deviated to the left. I think I was only with Kaylee for a total of 8-9 minutes. I mean, we were on scene with her for 4 minutes, maybe 4 or 5 minutes to the hospital. Dropped her off to the emergency department where the PCCU team and the emerge team were there.
I received a call originally from the London Health Sciences Centre, and they sort of explained to me in the cab what had happened. The airplane ride was horrific.
Heart rate was about 100.
All I wanted to do was get home.
We got into the car, but we couldn't get anywhere because the traffic was so backed up every direction. And it was confusion because we didn't know what was going on. But I didn't know that a block away, that's where the accident had happened from my work.
Marianne's out there. She probably can go find the parents.
Okay, thank you. So you put the outline? You need a seat? Sure? Yes. Yeah.
I'm just going to go get a tea connector.
And a chair, please, okay?
Where did our alarms
Can you
go?
put an engine?
We went into the PCCU where she had a bed, and Kaylee was just sort of lying lifeless on her back on this bed.
I sent my sister in to see her because I think I was too scared. They were telling me about her injuries, and I would listen, and I would say to them, but she'll be okay. Like, you know. And they said, well, we don't know. We don't know that she will.
It was a very bleak sort of just feeling that, you know, things were very empty.
You just wait and wait.
Imagine how slowly those minutes pass. Your little child lifeless. Many questions, few answers, and nothing you can do but wait. You may not realize it at the time, but you're at the best place you can be. Children's Hospital at London Health Sciences Centre, where a caring circle is ready to wrap your child in the best care possible. Dr. Alec Kornacki was one of the first to attend to Kaylee.
She didn't open her eyes, or she didn't speak, or so on, but she didn't respond to pain. She didn't have any response to pain and reaction to pain. She was breathing, but she was not responding to pain. That is one. Second, from very early in the beginning, the finding on CT and MRI, finding on CT, were very, very bad. We found a significant contusion to the brain. And then the pressure in the skull, very high at the beginning.
Her brain on the CT scan indicated that she had significant damage to the right side of her brain. She was given medication so that to reduce the work of her brain. So she was in what we would call a medically induced coma. So when I would examine Kaylee at that time, she really didn't have much of a response because of the coma that we had put her in to give her brain time to heal.
Kaylee and her family spent 9 days in pediatric critical care. 24 hours a day, they waited as her little body coped with the trauma she suffered. Top priority was to keep brain swelling to a minimum.
the cells within the brain become very angry and inflamed and are prone to swelling. It's the goal in the intensive care unit after a brain injury to inhibit cells from swelling, or at least to reduce the impact of that swelling.
And as with many physicians at Children's, Dr. Fraser holds a position as scientist at Children's Health Research Institute. He's using molecular and cellular techniques to look at how brain cells function in a variety of injuries.
Our research has led to several discoveries of proteins that reside on brain cells that are important for brain swelling, and our goals are to develop drugs to block those proteins so that brain swelling is reduced or inhibited.
With Kaylee, after 9 days of intense care, there was still much unknown. Would she walk? Would she talk again?
There was a girl that had been in the PCCU a few weeks prior to Kaylee coming through, and she had come back for a visit while she was recovering upstairs in the pediatric ward. She'd come back for a visit, and I saw her walking, and she was walking quite slowly and struggling with speech. But I thought to myself, as my daughter was lying in a coma still, I thought, wow, if I could have that back in a few months from now, I'd be ecstatic. I always wanted to believe in my heart that she was going to be okay. I guess, when the doctors started backing off the medication and she started coming to, and you could sort of make eye contact with her, you thought, okay, she's there now. She wants to come back. You could see her wanting to fight, and I started to believe a little bit more.
And believe they did, and hope, and wait. And gradually their little girl came back, first smiling, then talking, then laughing. And as often happens with little children, once she could walk, she started to run. For Kaylee and other kids with similar injuries, Children's Hospital has a partnership with the Thames Valley Children's Center. As part of the Acquired Brain Injury Community Outreach Program, Kaylee continues her recovery with a number of different therapies.
There is some brain tissue that is irreversibly damaged because nerve tissue in the brain does not ever regenerate itself. So that when we look at Kaylee's CT scan and her most recent one from several months ago, one still sees that she has significant brain injury. And that brain injury will last with her for her entire life. But what she does with her impairments and how she compensates and how her brain reorganizes is really going to be a test of time.
I can't squeeze it.
Kaylee also spends time with her grandmother, who suffered serious injuries from the accident. She had multiple fractures to both legs, a cracked pelvis, and damage to her liver.
Playful penguins on an icy slide. The smallest chick stays by Mommy's side.
Together, they continue to heal, and as a family, they continue to marvel at the treatment received at Children's.
Having that caliber of professionals attending to her so quickly after the accident, I think, made all the difference.
When Kaylee drives by that hospital, you know, she used to say, "Oh, Mom, that's where we were born, in that hospital." But she looks at it now, she goes, "That's my hospital." And I go, "Yeah." And as she grows up, I hope she knows that, they saved her life. Absolutely.
And now, Kaylee and her family have something else to celebrate. Kaylee Turnbull is the 2007 Champion Child presented by Walmart Canada. She and her family are taking their story of tragedy and miraculous recovery to Ottawa and Orlando, Florida as part of the Children's Miracle Network celebration, raising awareness and funds for the work of children's hospitals throughout Canada and the U.S. And Kaylee knows just what to say.
Hi, my name is Kelly, and I love the Children's Hospital, and all the nurses and doctors helped me, and I was there for 5 weeks, and I'm all better.